They're arriving by the thousands. A growing exodus of ethnic Armenians from the besieged breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh in Azerbaijan. All of us were crying, and I want to cry right now as I speak, this woman said, because I left everything. Some 20,000 displaced civilians have arrived in Armenia, according to its government, after enduring an intense 2 days of Azerbaijani shelling and fighting. Many of them were injured, others starved by Azerbaijan's 10-month blockade. It was a nightmare. There are no words to describe it, said this woman. The village was heavily shelled. Almost no one is left in the village. And last night, an added tragedy. An explosion at a fuel depot killed at least 68 people and injured scores more. These refugees have lost more than their homes. They've also lost their homeland. For many, this exodus marks a final defeat after decades of conflict. Separatist leaders accepted a surrender agreement on Tuesday that gave Azerbaijan full control of the region.
Those people are really exhausted and that there is a lot of malnutrition. So it's really hard for them even to just walk or arrive here.
Journalist Astrag Agopian was at the Armenian border with Azerbaijan today, reporting on the refugees.
Many of them are from villages which were taken by the Azerbaijani army, so they really lost their homes already. And there is really this feeling that this time is different. It's another war, but it's a war that is definitely lost this time.
Many are calling the Armenians' flight an example of ethnic cleansing, including Armenia's prime minister. The Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh continue to face danger of ethnic cleansing, he said. In recent days, humanitarian aid arrived in Nagorno-Karabakh, but it didn't change the situation. Samantha Power, the head of America's USAID, declined to use that term, but she cited troubling reports of violence against civilians and pledged $11.5 million in American humanitarian aid. Azerbaijan's government has said Armenians are safe to remain in the enclave. But after decades of war and a crippling blockade, few Armenians believe them. The war was among a number of ethnic conflicts left in the wake of the breakup of the Soviet Union. Russia historically backed Armenia and deployed a peacekeeping force to the region after it brokered peace in 2020. But lately, Armenia has made overtures to the West, antagonizing Moscow. And Russia may feel it has more to gain from Azerbaijan in its access to oil and pipelines.
The pivotal factor was that Azerbaijan was talking separately to the Russians and has a joint agenda with the Russians to pressure Armenia and also to keep the West out of the Caucasus.
But regardless of who's to blame, for many here, this conflict and the dream of an Armenian Nagorno-Karabakh have already been lost. Yeah, listen, it looks like this war is finally over, but the next political conflict that we might see is actually against the Armenian prime minister. Many of the Armenian residents of Nagorno-Karabakh are outraged at the Armenian prime minister. They say that he needlessly antagonized Russia by cozying up to the West and that the Russians then subsequently abandoned them, and that then he capitulated in the face of Azerbaijani aggression.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.